Good morning, students. How are you? Good. A warm welcome to the class. Are you enjoying our classes? Good. In today's class, we are going to learn about prefixes. You are going to identify prefixes and their uses. Are you ready? Good. I will narrate you one incident from Mahabharata. You listen to it attentively. Later, I will ask you some questions on it. You must answer them. Listen to it attentively, children. Can you identify who are they? Yes, they are Pandavas. Who are Pandavas? Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula and Sahadeva. Pandava brothers were in a forest. They were unhappy. Kauravas had ill-treated them. One day it was very hot. They were tired and thirsty. They were unable to walk. Yudhishthira sent Nakula to fetch some water. He went in search of water. He saw a pool. The water was pure. He wanted to drink water. He heard a voice. He could not see anyone. It was invisible. The voice asked him not to drink water without answering his questions. He did not listen to the warning. He drank water. He became unconscious and fell down. Okay, children, I will read the story once again. You listen to it attentively. Later you have to answer these questions. Okay. Where were the Pandavas? Why were they unhappy? How was the weather on that day? Why were they unable to walk? Who went in search of water? How was the water in the pool? What did he hear? Did he see anyone there? What did he do? What happened to him? Okay, I will read the story once again. Pandava brothers were in a forest. They were unhappy. Kauravas had ill-treated them. One day it was very hot. They were tired and thirsty. They were unable to walk. Yudhishthira sent Nakula to fetch some water. He went in search of water. He saw a pool. The water was pure. He wanted to drink water. He heard a voice. He could not see anyone. It was invisible. The voice asked him not to drink water without answering his questions. He did not listen to the warning. He drank water. He became unconscious and fell down. Now, are you ready to answer the questions? Good. Where were the Pandavas? Correct. Pandava brothers were in the forest, or Pandavas are in the forest. Pandava brothers were in the forest. Why were they unhappy? Why, children? Correct. They were unhappy because Kauravas had ill-treated them. They were unhappy because Kauravas had ill treated them. How was the weather on that day? Is it cold? No, the weather was very hot. Why were they unable to walk? Why? Say aloud. Why were they unable to walk? Correct. They were unable to walk because they were tired and thirsty. They were tired. They were unable to walk because they were tired and thirsty. Who went in search of water? Rupa, will you answer this question? Who went in search of water? What is the answer? Good. Nakula went in search of water. Nakula went in search of water. How was the water in the pool? How was the water in the pool? Is it dirty? No, the water was pure. Next, what did he hear? Correct. He was asked not to drink water before answering his questions. Was asked not to drink water before answering his questions. Did he see anyone there? No, he didn't see anyone. No, he didn't see anyone. What did he do? He drank water. What happened to him? Correct. He became unconscious and fell on the ground. He became unconscious and fell on the ground. Did you answer all these questions correctly? Good. Okay. We have come across these words in the stories. Take a look at these words. Unhappy, ill-treat, unable, invisible, unconscious. I will read once again. Unhappy, ill-treat, unable, invisible, unconscious. Okay. We have formed the opposites of happy, treat, able, visible, conscious by adding a group of letters. So we have formed the opposites of happy, treat, able, visible, conscious by adding group of letters to each word. Here, un, ill, un, in, un. What are these? We added un, ill, in. They are called prefixes. They are called prefixes. Look here, prefixes. Prefixes are added before a word. Whether they have meaning? No, they do not have any meaning. They have no existence on their own. They need a support to be a meaningful word. So when they are pasted or attached to a word, they assume meaning. Make the opposites of the following words by using ill, this, miss, im. Agree. I agree with your answer. What's the opposite of agree? Agree? The opposite of agree? Correct. The opposite of agree is disagree. Literate. Literate. One who know how to read and write. What's the opposite of literate? Very good. Illiterate. One who doesn't know how to read and write. Pure. Pure. The water was pure. What's the meaning of, what's the opposite of pure? Correct. The opposite of pure is impure. Impure. Fit. Fit. What's the opposite of fit? Very good. Misfit. Good. I'm going to narrate you another story. In this story, there are some prefixes. You have to identify them. Okay? Listen to it attentively. Birbal was very unhappy because the king treated the young man unfairly. Birbal was very unhappy because the king treated the young man unfairly. The king was unkind to him. The young man stood in biting cold water for one night, hoping to get 1,000 gold coins. He was denied the gift on the plea that he received warmth from a distant light from one of the palace rooms. Birbal thought the king was illogical. He disagreed with the king's decision. He thought it was improper to treat the young man like that. It was a mistake from the king. He decided to make the king realize his mistake. Okay, Birbal was very unhappy because the king treated the young man unfairly. In this sentence, in the first sentence, we have two words with the prefixes. Which are they? Very good. We have unhappy and unfairly. Which is the prefix here? Correct. Un is the prefix. Birbal was very unhappy because the king treated the young man unfairly. The king was unkind to him. Which is the prefix? Correct. Un is the prefix here. The young man stood in biting cold water for one night, hoping to get 1,000 gold coins. Young man stood in biting cold water for one night, hoping to get 1,000 gold coins. He was denied the gift on the plea that he received warmth from a distant light from one of the palace rooms. Children, whether we have any prefixes in these two sentences? Here, the young man stood in biting cold water for one night, hoping to get 1,000 gold coins. He was denied the gift on the plea that he received warmth from a distant light from one of the palace rooms. These two sentences we have no prefixes. Birbal thought the king was illogical. Birbal thought the king was illogical. Which is the prefix here? Look here, we have a word illogical. Which is the prefix? Correct. Ill is the prefix here. He disagreed with the king's decision. In this sentence, which is the word which has the prefix? Correct. Disagreed. Which is the prefix here? Very good. This is the prefix. He thought it was improper to treat the young man like that. He thought it was improper to treat the young man like that. In this sentence we have a word. Yes, we have a word improper. So identify the prefix in this word. Correct. M is the prefix. It was a mistake from the king. He decided to make the king realize his mistake. It was a mistake from the king. He decided to make the king realize his mistake. Mistake is one word, okay? Here mist is not a prefix. Mist is a part of the word, okay? Look here children. In this story, okay, the prefixes used are happy, unhappy, fair, unfair, kind, unkind, logical, illogical, agree, disagree, proper, improper. You repeat it, okay? Happy, unhappy. Repeat it. Yes. Fair, unfair. Kind, unkind. Logical, illogical. Agree, disagree. Proper, improper. Look here. Now you have to answer these questions. Why was Birbal unhappy? Yes, Birbal was unhappy because the king treated the young man unfairly. Where did the young man stand for the whole night? The young man stood in biting cold water for the whole night. The young man stood in biting cold water for the whole night. Why did he stand there? He stood there because the king had promised to give 1,000 gold coins. He stood there because the king had promised to give him 1,000 gold coins. Why was he denied the gift? What's the answer? Very good. He was denied the gift because he was supposed to have received warmth from a distant light. Why did he think the king's decision was wrong? What's the answer? Correct. He thought it was improper to treat the young man like that. So he thought it was improper to treat the young man unfairly. What did he decide? Correct. He decided to make the king realize his mistake. Okay. Now you have to add the suitable prefixes from the box. How to make the opposites of the following words. Okay. I will give the words for you. Treat, equal, lucky, married, mobile, partial, fit, behave, like, even, formal, valid, natural, connect, complete. You have to form the opposites of these words. Treat. What's the opposite of treat? Which prefix you should use here? Treat. The opposite of treat is ill treat. Look here, ill treat. Ill treat. I-L-T-R-E-A-T. The opposite of treat is ill treat. Good. Equal. Equal. What's the opposite of equal? Good. The opposite of equal is unequal. Lucky. Lucky. Tell me the opposite of lucky. What's the answer? Very good. The opposite of lucky is unlucky. Lucky, unlucky. Married. Married. So, what's the opposite of married? Which prefix you should use here? Correct. Un. The opposite of married is unmarried. Married, unmarried. Mobile. Mobile means which can be moved. Mobile means not a cell phone, okay? Mobile means which can be moved. What's the opposite of mobile? Which prefix you should use here? Correct. Immobile. Immobile means which cannot be moved. Mobile, immobile. Partial. Partial. What's the opposite of partial? Correct. The opposite of partial is impartial. Partial, impartial. Fit. Fit. What's the answer? It's fit. Here we can use unfit. Also we can tell misfit. Fit is unfit. You're unfit for this job ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ವಾ. Okay, fit, unfit. Behave. What's the opposite of behave? Misbehave. Like. Like. Which prefix you should use here? Correct. Unlike, or you can tell dislike. Even. Even. The opposite of even is? Correct. Uneven. Even. Uneven. Formal. Formal. Which is the prefix? Correct. In. Formal, informal. Valid. Valid, invalid. Your ID card is not valid, or your ID card is valid. Your ID card is invalid. Natural. Natural. The opposite of natural is unnatural. Here we use the prefix un. Natural, unnatural. Connect. Connect. I know most of you know this answer. Connect. What's the opposite of connect? Good. Disconnect. Complete. Complete. Yes. Incomplete. The opposite of complete is incomplete. Treat. Ill-treat. Equal. Unequal. Repeat it. Equal. Unequal. Lucky. Unlucky. Lucky. Unlucky. Married. Unmarried. Repeat it. Mobile. Immobile. Partial. Impartial. Fit. Misfit. Or fit. Unfit. Behave. Misbehave. Like. Dislike. Like, or you can also tell unlike. Even. Uneven. Formal. Informal. Valid. Invalid. Natural. Unnatural. Connect. Disconnect. Complete. Incomplete. Okay. Look here. when the words begins with R. For example, regular, irregular, responsible, irresponsible, relevant, irrelevant. But it is not a general rule. When we have a word which starts with L, we use the prefix IL. Example, logical, illogical, legible, illegible. Okay. P. When the words start with the letter P, IM, we use prefix IM. Polite, impolite, partial, impartial, proper, improper, practical, impractical, possible, impossible. Good. There are some sentences. Each sentence has a blank. Okay. Fill in the blanks with the correct prefixes selecting from the box. I tried to speak to the professor, but he was dash available. I tried to speak to the professor, but he was, what's the answer? Correct, he was unavailable. My friend seems to have dash. I can't find him anywhere. So the answer is disappeared. My friend seems to have disappeared. I can't find him anywhere. I think I have dash what you said. Could you please repeat the direction? What's the answer? I think I have misunderstood what you said. Could you please repeat the direction? Kevin is dash tidy. His room is always in a mess. Not a eating room, okay? It means a dirty place. Okay? Kevin is dash tidy. What's the answer? Correct. Kevin is untidy. His room is always in a mess. Okay, children. Today we learned about prefixes and we also learned about the opposites of the some words using prefixes. Tomorrow if you have any doubts, please call to the number which are displayed on the screen. Thank you.